partitive in Italian describes an undetermined part of a whole, or an unknown amount of objects or people. For example, one could say things like, "May I have a little bit of pasta?" or "some tea?" or "some flour?" Now, does this mean half a plate of pasta? A small cup of tea? For the flour, is that a pound? A cup? A tablespoon? Similarly, if one says, "Could you lend me some money?" does that mean $5 or 500? Finally, if you're looking to have some fun and you declare that you are going to call a few friends, how many friends is that? 3? A dozen? These situations will require use of partitive. Italian has several ways to express partitive. One phrase that is often used is un po' di. This works best with uncountable nouns, such as liquids and small edible items, when we are not specifying the volume or the weight. For example, "Posso avere un po' di caffè?" On the other hand, if using easily countable nouns, such as books, cars, people, or cherries, there are several options. One option is to use indefinite adjectives. First, there is qualche. We can use qualche plus the noun, which will always be in the singular. Ho bisogno di qualche giorno di vacanza. Then there is alcuni or alcune. This will be accompanied by the plural noun. Ho comprato alcune mele. However, if you are tired of adjective agreements, you may also use an easy alternative, the preposizione articolata di, plus the definite article, which means of the. This is a contraction between the preposition di and the article required by the particular word you are using. One must still keep in mind gender, number, and the first letter of the word you are using, but this choice might be easier for some people. The contracted form will be the same as the preposizione articolata you use when you are expressing a specification or possession. If you need to review, you can go back to this tutorial from earlier in the series. Otherwise, let's quickly refresh our memories. Here are all the possible contractions as we learned in that tutorial. So we should understand that if we wanted to say the student's backpack, we could say lo zaino dello studente. Now, to put this in the context of partitive, here we are going to use di followed by the definite article in a form that does not have a direct correspondent in English. This will be a bit confusing for English speakers, as the kind of phrase we will be using will translate literally to, "May I have of the sugar," though it will actually simply mean, "May I have some sugar." Let's see a few examples of this type of usage with uncountable nouns. Posso avere del pane? Posso avere dello zucchero? Posso avere dell'arrosto? Posso avere della pizza? Posso avere dell'aranciata? It is actually also possible to use this approach with countable nouns as well, though they will imply an unspecified number of items. Vorrei comprare dei biscotti. Vorrei comprare degli zucchini. Vorrei comprare degli aquiloni. Vorrei comprare delle fragole. Vorrei comprare delle orchidee. For a slightly different context, vedo delle signore. Vedo dei cani. Vedo degli studenti. So that covers a few ways that we can use partitive. There are a few situations in which we want to avoid using partitive, and those are as follows. First, in negative phrases. If you want to say, "I don't eat fruit," you would say, "Non mangio frutta," and not "della frutta." Second, in the presence of a quantifier adjective. Tu mangi troppi dolci. We would not use partitive with a phrase like this because of the presence of troppi. And finally, when making a list. Nella borsa ho soldi indirizzi, rossetto. We would not insert partitive in such a list. Let's check comprehension.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. Support me on Patreon so I can keep making content. And as always, feel free to email me, ProfessorDaveExplains@gmail.com.